Well, President Pranab Mukherjee has expressed concern over a string of attacks on Africans in the country. The president said it would be most unfortunate if the people of India were to dilute our long tradition of friendship with the people of Africa. Meanwhile, the Ministry of External Affairs is trying to firefight the crisis through a series of meetings. Minister of State for External Affairs, General V K Singh, has been tasked with assuaging the security concerns of the African students. Today, he will be meeting the community in the afternoon. In fact, the protest by African students has been called off, but now JNU Students' Union has called for a march for justice at Jantar Mantar today.
That first most important non-resident India we had was in the form of Mahatma Gandhi, who made his experiment of Satyagraha on the soils of Africa, and Africa presented Mahatma Gandhi to us, who transformed this country. Therefore, how can we tolerate it? How can we even comprehend it? We believe it, that Africans would not feel safe in India. I am happy that Government of India has taken prompt actions.
But all in all, because these things have happened, could be the government of India will try to find the reason or to find the sources, and will help to solve this problem. It's only the government of India can do that, with the assistance of Ministry of External Affairs. Obviously, we have to be satisfied. We don't have any other option for that matter, because all these things have been done in India, and it's the Indian government will be responsible for that matter, not we. We have to wait them and see what will happen.
And India Today's senior editor Gaurav Sawant spoke to members of the African community about the series of racial attacks and the sense of fear that they now live with in India. Take a look.
There is fear in the African community after a series of attacks, and now the Delhi police and the locals living here, they have assembled at a gathering with the African community trying to bridge the gap. Now, when we talk about fear that some of these people feel, with me is Jason. Jason is from Nigeria, and Jason, what is this meeting all about? What's the fear?
The meeting is the basic of this meeting is to be able to bridge a gap, to be able to synthesize the local too. To be able to understand, and we're going to be having interchange culture, to be able to understand each other very well. I think because we are lacking understanding of who both culture is. So by so doing, I think for us to be able to bridge this gap is by having interchange of culture.
Yes, a brilliant suggestion that came from the DCP Ishwar Singh was perhaps movie exchanges, cultural exchanges. With me is the DCP. Sir, tell us about this meeting and the fear that people talk to you about, and how you plan to, make them feel more comfortable.
That we had planned, because the African brothers who are staying here, yesterday I had a meeting with the locals. Today I have held a meeting with all the Africans who are staying here. Majority of them have come, and the main point which has come across is that there is a distrust between both the communities, the local as well as the Africans.
So what will you do? What will the Delhi police do to overcome that mistrust, so that they start talking to each other again? They don't have problems in renting a house here, or the cultural divide, what they cook, how they dress.
No, what I plan, that we are planning frequent meeting between the local and the African brothers who are staying here. And with the frequent meetings, I am sure that the cultural divide or the difference, whatever there is with them, I think they'll be able to bridge that gap.
Okay. The Delhi police has also reassured people here that they will have access to the police at all times. Now, you were talking about, how more access was needed to the police. What is the biggest tension? What is the biggest fear?
The most problem we have is when you will call police to assist you, instead to solve the matter at hand, that particular moment, police will start asking you a paper. Somebody is hitting you. You should, first of all, solve the problem at hand. That's the problem. as I have said before, as I have told to the commissioner, UP police come to Delhi and kidnap people to UP, give him a case. This is the copy. This copy here.
So you've asked for a CBI investigation. Yes. I see you've also dressed up in a kurta and a pajama. Now, do you usually wear Indian clothes?
Yes, of course, because I like to kind of mix up with cultures. I like cultures. Okay. Actually, Indian is nice, but the most important thing is your media should also highlight about good things in Africa, not only about Boko Haram.
Bridge the cultural divide through movies, through sports. In fact, the Delhi police now aims to bridge this gap with people not just from Nigeria but from across the African continent living here by having regular cultural exchanges and sports exchanges. That perhaps is one way to bridge the cultural divide. With cameraman Vicky in Delhi, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
And Congolese national MK Oliver, who was murdered in Delhi, his father is arrived in Delhi on Monday to receive his son's mortal remains. Now, Oliver's father was received at the Indira Gandhi International Airport by officials of the External Affairs Ministry and taken to the Embassy of Congo in Safdarjung enclave. Now, the officials briefed his family about the situation, assuring them of a speedy trial in the case and prosecution of all those responsible for the crime. MEA officials informed the family that the government will bear all expenses related to the dispatch of the mortal remains of Oliver. Now, a taxi driver was allegedly beaten up by a group of Africans, including 2 women in South Delhi's Chhatarpur area on Monday. This is the same locality in which 6 Africans were attacked. The incident happened when the cab driver Nuruddin went to pick up the African nationals. An altercation took place between the driver and the passengers when he refused to accommodate all 6 of them in his cab. The group of Africans then allegedly attacked the driver and fled. Police has arrested 1 Rwanda national in the assault case.
6 लोग थे जी जिनमें 4 अफ्रीकी जेंट्स और 2 लेडीज थी जी इनमें मैंने कही जी मैं तो मेरी गाड़ी में 4 अलाउड है 6 अलाउड नहीं है मैं 6 को नहीं ले जा सकता तो इन्हें कही मेन रोड तक मैंने मेन रोड पे ये बीकानेर सूच छतरपुर यहाँ तक मैं ले आया इनको यहाँ मैंने अपनी गाड़ी साइड में लगाई साइड में लगाने के बाद एक उतरा मेरे यहाँ बेंच मारा आपकी चेहरे पे हाँ जी ये मेरा क्या मारा बेंच और नहीं होता आँख में मारा जी मेरे काफी चोट आई हाँ जी फिर इनमें से चार तो भाग गए और एक लेडीज को पुलिस लेकर आ गई।
राइट साइड आईब्रो में 6 टांके आए हैं सारे उसके चीक के ऊपर जो चीक बोन है उस पर बहुत ज़्यादा चोट है कपड़े उसके सारे फटे हुए हैं। उसने ये भी बताया कि उसके पैसे भी उन्होंने लूट लिए। पब्लिक उसकी मदद के लिए आई और उसको वहाँ पे एक लेडी थी जो जिसको बता रहे और रवांडन नेशनल है उसको पकड़ लिया है बाकी सारे लोग भाग गए। बाकी जितने भी इसमें और अफ्रीकन नेशनल्स है उनको हम आइडेंटिफाई करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और इसमें क्योंकि ये बता रहे हैं कि उसकी पिटाई करके और उसके पैसे भी छीनेंगे तो इसलिए हम एक इसमें केस दर्ज करेंगे रॉबरी।
And amid a string of attacks on African nationals in the national capital, Goa Tourism Minister Dilip Parulekar demanded a strict law to deport Nigerians. Parulekar claimed that Nigerians come in conflict with Indian law to extend their stay and indulge in drugs and other crimes. The BJP leader's remarks came a day after a 39-year-old local woman was allegedly raped at knife point by a Nigerian at Para village. Dilip Parulekar said the problems of Nigerians are not only in Goa but across the country. They arrive here to study and create problems so that the case is filed against them, is what he had to say.